So as we visit with you, we want to explain to you that you are the creator of your own reality. And we, for a while, said to you that you want to be the deliberate creator. We called this body of work the science of deliberate creation, because we wanted you to care about your vibration and care about the projection of your thoughts. And most of all, care about the way you were feeling so that you could guide your thoughts into ways that are productive for you. And by productive, we don't just mean productive so it will produce stuff you want. We mean productive so that you can feel glorious in every moment. Productive so that you can be living the joyful life that you came here to live. And then you humans are so diligent in your determination that you made the science of deliberate creation harder work than it needed to be. We watched you. You were monitoring your thoughts and making yourself and others crazy. You would find yourself saying something that you knew was not beneficial because of the way it felt, and then you would try to suck it back before law of attraction took hold of it and made it bigger. But even sucking it back, law of attraction is still responding to what you've got your attention on, because in this attraction-based universe, there's no such thing as no. You can't look at something and say no without being a vibrational match to the very thing you're saying no about. So now we are calling this the art of allowing. The art of allowing what? The art of you will be you. The art of me in my physical form. Me in my physical body. The art of me finding a way of seeing the world, or seeing the piece of the world that I'm focused on in this moment, in a way that is like the way my inner being sees it, so that I can receive that broader perspective in this moment. The leverage that you receive, the energy that creates worlds at your fingertips, it's such an advantage to you when you sync up with that signal. So when we talk about being in the receiving mode, that's what we're talking about. Now, of course, if you're awake, you're turned on, which means your receiving mode is on. The question is, what's it tuned to? What's it tuned to? Are you tuned to the frequency of who you really are, or are you tuned to something that you're watching on television, or something that is rampant in your environment globally or locally? We know where you stand in relationship to everything that you want. And we are broadcasting a continual stream that you can receive in the form of impulses, clear, pure thought. When you begin following the impulse of your bliss, when you begin following the impulse of your joy, when you begin following what feels best to you, and you don't second guess yourself, you don't judge yourself, you don't try to evaluate it to death. Instead, you just follow that feeling of bliss, and then you have the benefit of witnessing outcome after outcome after outcome after outcome. Then you are a deliberate creator. This receiving mode is a subtle receiving. You have to tune yourself. You have to quiet your mind enough that there are not other things that are in the way. And we'll talk about that as we move forward today. Easy ways to do that. But so when you tune yourself to this subtle frequency, so you begin hearing and feeling these impulses are not going to lead you immediately to the manifested reality that you want, for a variety of reasons. One is you really don't want to go directly there. You think you do, but you don't. You don't want to go directly there. What you want is this wonderful unfolding path that you get to witness as what you're wanting. It would be like a sculptor saying, I'm going to create a magnificent sculpture. Give me the clay, and then just throwing it down and saying, there, that's exactly what I was going for. That's exactly what I had in mind. Because that isn't what you had in mind. You want to get your intentionality in it. You want the fun of it becoming what you were intending for it to be. So the receiving mode, once you're in that receiving mode, once you've achieved that vibrational alignment with who you really are, and once there is a mutual vibration, your vibration and the vibration of your inner being are the same, what happens is you'll receive an impulse or an idea that won't take you all the way to what you might want to call the finish line of this particular creation. It's just you being more ready than you were before you received that. And in that readiness, that new readiness that just happened to you, now new other wonderful things can happen too. And then more, and then more, and then more. So we say, you're ready to be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. And the reason that we really want you to get this is because there are always going to be, we'll pause for dramatic effect. There are always going to be many, many more of your creations in the process of becoming than are becoming right now. In other words, a steady stream of them in the pipeline. And if you have oriented yourself to only let yourself be happy once they manifest, then you're mostly going to be unhappy. Because every day you're going to figure out something more that you want, and every day that more thing that you want will have not come to physical fruition. So you've got to be joyful in the becoming. You've got to be joyful in the allowing. You've got to be joyful in the asking. You've got to be joyful in the problem stage. You've got to be joyful in the not knowing the answer. You've got to understand that the system is, I don't like this, I prefer this, and I have no way of getting to this suddenly. And then the fun begins. Because once you know that you want it, your inner being wants it too. And when your inner being wants what you want, here's the key. Your inner being knows how to get it. Your inner being knows where it's going to come from, who's going to bring it, what the likely unfolding of it is. Your inner being knows all of that. But you often can't hear that from your inner being because your inner being doesn't talk to you like humans do who say, go over there. Your inner being is offering you the impulse so that you can have the pleasure of what you call self-discovery. You see what we're getting at? If you want it, it's underway. And your inner being knows the path of least resistance to lead you to it. Oh, path of least resistance? What's path of least resistance? That's the path that your inner being knows to help guide you around your hang-ups. Because the resistance that's on your path, you put there with your beliefs. But your inner being doesn't say, okay, we've got it. We know what you want. And you go clear your path, and then we'll show you the way. Because your inner being knows you're not going to clear your path. You're not going to change all your beliefs at once. Those lobotomies are hard to get. Instead, you're going to vibrate pretty much like you have been, and your inner being is going to show you around your hang-ups until after a while you'll have more faith and belief in your ability to receive and know. And as that trust becomes stronger, trust in yourself, trust in the process, then many of those hang-ups, those resistances along your path will begin to evaporate. And then it's really fun. Then almost as fast as you identify you want something, the progress of it begins. Esther says it's almost like magic. She knows it isn't magic, but she can feel when she's in one of those modes where she's in such the receptive mode that if she just follows her impulses, not only is it going to be a wonderful day, but it's going to be full of delight and surprise about things that are important to her. We are really eager to talk with you about what matters to you.
I just find myself doing a lot of this energy work to try to raise my vibration and use some of the tools that I've studied to increase how I feel during the day and just float about and let these feelings come in.
Well, anything that you're doing that improves the way you feel is a really beneficial and powerful and productive use of your focus and time. In other words, anything that makes you feel better. That's why we say if you catch yourself in a moment that feels good, just milk it. Milk it, devour it, examine why it feels so good. Every now and again, if you find yourself in a place that just feels extra good, ask yourself, what's so good about this place? Is it the environment? Is it the carpet on the floor? Is it the ambience in the room? Is it the air in the room? Is it about the other people in the room? Is it the music in the room? And often, Esther, as she was writing her segment of intentions, and she always sort of focuses herself into this room with you, she was acknowledging how good this environment feels because it pleases all of the physical senses. It looks good, it feels good, it smells good. None of her physical senses are assaulted in an environment like that, which means it's a particularly good environment for further realization of further pleasantries. You see what we're getting at?
You're setting yourself up for more.
Ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. But ready to receive, not ready to think. When you think a thought, that thought thinks. And so there's all kinds of things thinking all around you, all kinds of thoughts thinking around you. But someone who is really thinking in a way that really benefits you is your inner being who exists inside of everything that you desire. And your inner being is always and only thinking about what you desire, about who you really are. So you could say, in the way that we were describing you being in a room where your physical senses are devouring in positive ways, your inner being is in your vortex devouring in positive ways. Pleased with the life that you lived that caused you to put it there. Pleased with the synergy of what's there. Pleased with the cooperative components that you've managed to gather through your attention to life. Pleased with the formulation. Pleased with the current status of all of it. And most of all, your inner being is pleased with its understanding of your discovery and your pleasure as you allow more of what's there to be realized in your physical senses. So if you think it feels good to be in a beautiful room with beautiful chandeliers and comfortable environment and good sound that you can hear and good conversation and lovely people that are like-minded to a certain degree, if you think that an environment like this feels good, then imagine the satisfaction that you are going to have as the contents of your vortex move into a manifestation that then you can devour with your physical senses. Did you kind of get what we're getting at? We're asking you to reach into a place that you may not have consciously gone before. The thrill of life really is the thoughts turning to things. The thrill of life really is you getting to witness the maturation of what you put there, of your thoughts, your important thoughts and questions and problems that set all of that into motion. And now your creation is growing and ripening and becoming, and you get to witness it and nurture it and move it along, and every step along the way have more contrasting step one moments that put more into the vortex. So you got that, didn't you? You can feel the evolution of your vortex turning to things. You can feel the evolution of you being in the receiving mode and being more aware of more of that as it's in the state of becoming. And we know you caught the spirit that we were offering here of you getting to witness the manifestation or the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching of all of this that you've set into motion. And now we want you to focus just for a moment, because it'll take you to a whole new rampaged level. We want you to focus on how, as you are allowing that to unfold, how within it sometimes even there is subtle contrast that causes you to ask for more that keep it all coming. And that's why we say you never get it done and you can't get it wrong. And the reason that you can't get it wrong is because it's never done. So no matter where you stand, you're still asking for more. So let's be clear. You are never outside of a thinking moment. We're asking you not to think. We're asking you to receive. You are never outside of a thinking moment, because you can never stop being aware of and therefore be in some phase of human step one evaluation of where you are. So even though you're in the receiving mode, there's still some evaluation going on within it. That's the perfectly normal thing. Just don't get carried away with it. And you were a little carried away with it. You're just thinking a little too much, thinking too much, and receiving a little not as much as we would like you to do. Just keep it in balance. What that requires is accepting that you're not here to prove anything to anyone. Accepting that there are no charts for you to fill. There are no ladders for you to climb. There's not something for you to overcome or something for you to undo. Your Creator's out here on the leading edge of thought, and it all starts right here and now with you. And so the sooner you stop trying to explain where you've been and how you got here, and you start acknowledging where you are and start enjoying what's coming from this, then the sooner you will be the empowered being that you were born to be. Nobody's asking for your apologies or for your justification about why you're here. Everyone's rooting for the success. And all of us know what's in your vortex so far, but what's in your vortex is not finished. You're going to put more in right in the midst of your receiving mode. You will still put more in.